could do an elevator pitch of your bio, like elevator pitch, you already know what it is. It's like a 2-minute talk that you have with someone that you're interested in. You had to sell yourself. What would you say?
So I call myself alchemist and incubator. And I believe I found that this is something I thrive to do and I'm really, really good at. So I've been working with small businesses, with startups, and to medium-sized and large global brands and businesses. And my main objective always have been to create value and to help businesses to transform, no matter of their maturity level, no matter of the size of organization or the size of investment. My main objective has been to help them to start innovating, to start learning, and to start transforming, to become thriving businesses, to get scaling value from data and AI. So that is how I define myself.
Should marketers be afraid or excited about AI?
Both. So I think there is a saying that by 2029, there are two types of businesses. Businesses that are using AI and businesses that are obsolete. So there is definitely, this is a revolution. This is a disruption, and every disruption demands for change, for transformation. So either you take advantage of this disruptive technology and you empower your business and you take your business to the next step, or basically you risk to become irrelevant and obsolete. So there are so many jobs that will be disappearing in the marketing landscape, and there are so many jobs that will be appearing. It's not about there will be less jobs, it's about there will be less work, more automation work, and more creative work. So it's definitely exciting, but that takes some conscious efforts from marketers.
For those that may not understand what a prompt is, can you explain what a prompt is and how it works with AI?
Yeah, so basically it's the way you interact with generative AI. Generative AI is a large language model. So basically in a very, very simplified form, it's all about, when you give a word or a set of words, this model can guess what is the next word coming after. So that's what generative AI is. And this is the way we interact. So in a human like language, we ask questions, and the more specific our questions are, we get better results. And that's what we call prompt. Prompt is basically a question, a query. Part of it is the context, the information you provide to the AI tool about, the task. For example, if you want AI to create content for your marketing, what your business is about, what is the purpose of the marketing campaign, what you want to get out of it, and who are your target people, who are your audience. And this could be as specific as possible, or it could be as generic as well. For example, you can ask AI, what would be the perfect audience or perfect target group for this marketing campaign?
AI is going to bring personalization to what you called hyper-personalization. Right now we're doing in our print industries things that are, some of it is, I guess we would consider it hyper-personalization, but probably only scratches the surface. Can you talk a little bit about where personalization is going with the use of AI?
Yeah, that's a great question. So personalization, I would say it started with digital world. And hyper-personalization that you mentioned, it's about, creating basically this aha experience for your customers or for your users that in a fraction of a second, you know what this person wants and you bring this in front of them. So it's about, filtering this crowded world with the relevant information, relevant product and services for your customers or for your users. What I'm excited about are two things. First is what hyper-personalization can be with generative AI. And we know with all the advancement that's happening in the AI landscape, because this definitely generative AI will push hyper-personalization to the next step in terms of scale. That not only, companies and businesses that they can afford investing heavily in data and AI can do that, but many others, they can also do that. So that's a great thing. And also like creating personalized content, on the fly in real time, or personalized services to your customers. That is definitely a new dimensions in hyper-personalization in the digital setup that would be very exciting to follow. But also, I believe personalization in the physical world also will be the next big thing in this area. So what we see that during the pandemic, we had the shift from physical to digital. There were so many things that were digitalized, and most e-commerce and transactions happening in a digital setup. And then after the pandemic, then we were back to the physical store, and expectations for the customers are on the digital level. So they want the same level of personalization experience they get from social media or from Netflix. They want to experience that in the store. So the question is that how the physical and digital customer journey and experience can merge. And I believe AI and generative AI can empower that definitely. And also, taking this all the way to, for example, in printing industry, in marketing campaigns, we can apply the same techniques, the same technology for the physical products as well. So it's quite exciting. There will be definitely a revolution on this topic as well.
Wow. Just hearing about that, I think would get some printers really excited, honestly. And I'm curious to see how that could potentially work, because I know Mid-Journey, to get high resolution images versus some of the online images is a little bit different. Probably there's a little bit of a speed bump there, but I think our printers would be super excited to hear that they could be doing personalized packages based on some of that context related. And I think you had mentioned DNA, like the personality DNA of the customer. So it's not really a question, but I'm just excited to hear about that. And I think our printers would be too.
Definitely. And what would be the role of packaging and, labeling? That would be kind of the bridge, the connection between the physical world and the digital world. So that would be, when I buy a product, I can, scan a QR code, and then I can get access to all the information around this product, and I can interact as a consumer. You can motivate me, for example, how I can, contribute to sustainability. So there are so many new business models, new opportunities that can emerge based on, this ability to personalize the end product for the customers. So that would be very exciting to follow up.
What are you excited about the next step in AI?
What I'm excited about is to see many more companies and businesses. They can, move to the next step from innovation, from piloting, from experimentation to scaling and industrialization. My experience is that there are not so many as of today who managed to create return on investment from data and AI. And this is regardless of the size of the business, the size of investment. I've been working with global companies, and I've been working with the smaller size of businesses and startups, scale-ups. No matter, there are so few that who manage to move beyond experimentation and piloting and create, this interesting graph. All of us, we have seen the exponential growth with AI. There are so few who has managed to do that. So I'm excited about that, to see that now AI becoming more mainstream, how many more companies they manage to create value, to create return on investment and start scaling and becoming industrialized with AI.
What do you think the biggest hurdle is for people to adopt AI?
The biggest is that underestimating the importance of data. It starts with data, it ends with data, and without data, AI is just a tool. So owning high quality data is the most important thing, but what I see that is under invested and underestimated the importance of this. And in addition to that, and the transformation is not just about learning; it's about changing. So that mindset, the mindset of innovation, to learn, to fail, maybe that is not widely accepted yet. There are so many, mainly startups and smaller size of businesses. They are comfortable with the culture of failing and learning from failure, and the others, they don't have that culture. So these are, to my view, these are two main obstacles from getting value from AI. So, embracing that culture, that this is about a tool that helps me to learn fast and to fail fast and learn faster. And also I need data for this to work.
I don't know if it even connects, but we have a shortage of young workers in the print industry. We're aging very much quickly. I don't know. Can AI help us with that? Can it attract others?
Definitely. I mean, again, as I said, every single step you can apply AI, machine learning, predictive analytics to create efficiency and value. And once you start, embracing that culture, then of course, younger generation and, younger resources also will be excited to start working in this area. So that would be definitely an opportunity to attract a new group of talents to this industry by opening that opportunity to use AI for what it can create value.
What are some of the newest titles that have job types or names of jobs that have come up now because of AI? I think I've heard somebody was a prompt engineer. I think so, I saw somewhere. But what are some of those new jobs that are popping up around AI?
So prompt engineer is definitely, and I would say that also maybe for a while, and that will also disappear because as of now, prompt engineering is kind of an art that, you create the best prompt to get the best output from AI. But in future, I can imagine that, that will be also handled by AI itself. Once you provide the right information, right knowledge and context, then, you can also get help from AI to create prompts for you. And there is already some tools out there in the market to help you with creating prompts, for the right role in the company or in the business. So that would be something that will appear and eventually disappear. Difficult for me about saying what are the new job roles, because it's kind of, the boundaries between maybe this, I would like to turn it around, to instead of saying, what are the new job roles that will appear, I believe the boundaries between what we have seen in terms of skill set and roles will disappear. So now we have a very clear definition of data scientist, data engineer, business analyst, data steward. There are so many roles we have seen the last decade appearing around data and AI. And this will be blended, and this dynamic will change definitely, because with generative AI, you can do job of a data scientist with very limited knowledge of data science, and you can create models and solutions and even automated data pipelines without data engineers. So yeah, definitely that will change. For me, it's difficult to say like what would be the new roles, but it will be kind of blended more, roles that are connecting business to data and technology will appear. And that's a very good news, because this is what we need, again, to bridge the gap, moving from experimentation to scaling. But the whole promise of data science or data scientists was people who are good on the technical side and also same time good on the storytelling. And that's what made this very interesting. But what I have seen, now we have so many data scientists out in the market, but they are not necessarily good, in the whole spectrum. And that's make it difficult to connect business and tech and to create value. So this will change. And the boundaries will be blended a bit.
All right. So this is I'm pretty much done with my regular questions, but hypothetically, at some point, is it going to be where I could just talk to Mr. Computer, Mr. or Mrs. Computer, I have $1,000. I want to start a beverage company. Find me a supplier of a spritz that I can market locally to people 35 to 45 that like hiking, and give me a marketing plan that will target them and react to seasonal changes for the flavors that I'm going to have. Go ahead and start that. Is it going to be like that?
This example, this is doable as of today. So this is not even future. This is doable as of today. And what it takes is to connect and to provide the right data. So some of the data in example you mentioned, this could be collected from publicly available data, like, social media, customer communities, and then, it depends, how much data your business has to start with. And this is already, from technical point of view, from practical point of view, this is doable.
Interesting. So if I was going to be building a new farmhouse and a community farm somewhere, you could build an entire marketing plan around getting visitors to come and take care of everything going on. Okay. I see somebody who might be using that. Oh, I would love to have a separate conversation about all the tools that you could potentially connect to make something like that happen. Just hypothetically, like how you would piece that together given a limited budget, because I'm assuming the big companies are obviously more well-funded to be able to do something like that and piece it together. But I'm curious to see how smaller to medium-sized companies could do that.
Yeah. And you're completely right. So this has been only, exclusive to bigger companies from up until now, because they had, the power of investing in building sentiment analysis, natural language processing type of algorithms, and building, crawlers to collect data from, public data and, some data providers to build that. But as of now, you can use generative AI. to build the same thing for you. So this is super exciting for me, that this is not exclusive to bigger organization anymore. A smaller size of, startups, how empowering this could be for startups to use solutions like this. So definitely we will see a revolution in the startup industry as well.
Oh, it's fascinating.
I have a question. Why do you think data is much more important than artificial generative intelligence?
What I have seen and experienced, it's been 20 years. I've been basically living, breathing with algorithms and data. So what I've seen, the solution to a problem doesn't have to be necessarily a very advanced or complex solution. Sometimes, with the right data, you can create simpler solutions that works for you equally good. And there's so much, hype about AI and generative AI, but we shouldn't forget that there has been 4 waves of revolution or disruptions coming together to create this. And, last time we talked, I said AI has been around since 1950. And that's correct. When I was a student, so many years ago, I don't say how many, you guess my age. So, we've been, studying these algorithms and these solutions, and still, it was like theory. It was, in the books, not, widely implemented in this industry. So what happened is that we have had disruption with data. So early 2000s, there was definitely an explosion in, data by digitalization. And this will be even more, because of, sensors, chip sensors and, IoT data. It will be an explosion of data and industrial data happening very soon as well. So that's one dimension. And then the second dimension is the computing power. So machine learning, or, the baseline for machine learning is the statistics, and that has been around for 200 years. But it didn't become a big thing until recently, because finally we had the computing power to make that work. And with, cloud computing, and again, quantum computing is the next disruption happening. This is the second, dimension in this disruption. And then the third one is the knowledge and the skill set. And now, there are so many open source tools. There are so many online courses. And I have had data scientists working with me, with any, very many different backgrounds, from neuroscience to petroleum engineering. So everybody basically has this capacity with the right background and knowledge to learn and, to gain a skill set of a data scientist. And this will be even revolutionized with generative AI and, no code approach. Without knowing coding, you can create softwares, you can create tools. So this is the third one. And then we have AI as the fourth one. So 4 disruptions, 4 waves of disruptions coming together same time and create, what we are witnessing right now. And it shouldn't be underestimated, because sometimes, you can build a, very complex AI solution to a problem, but equivalently, you can, buy many, like 100 or thousands smaller, simpler solution for that problem, which is equally effective, because you have the computing power to run 1,000 models, at the same time and create the output for you and optimize the results. So this is what I see, in the industry. This is kind of ignored. And, I see so many businesses or companies, they spend hugely, invest on complex solutions while they can achieve the same results with the right data and, simpler solutions. Or they cannot scale, their AI solutions because they don't have the solid data foundation. So, data is the foundation for everything. And, it's like, again, back to mountain climbing analogy. It's like building solid base camps. for your journey. So if you don't have that solid base camp, then, there is so much you can, proceed, and then you may have to go back and you cannot, continue. So that's my belief, that equally a solid data foundation is important. Way of working, the culture of innovation, the startup culture is equally important. And again, back to mountain journey or mountain analogy, it's about taking small steps. It doesn't have to be a big leap. Take small steps, learn, and go forward. So that's what I have learned, and I truly believe in that.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for being gracious for your time. I really appreciate it.
Yes, very, very much.
Thank you so much. This is really fun. I really look forward to the session and meeting you in person.